Hey everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript course. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the JavaScript function definitions. And if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the JavaScript function definitions. Okay. So inside my VS Code, I've opened up my index.html file, my style.css file, as well as my script.js file. So there is some basic boilerplate code present inside my index file, as you can see, and there is some basic styling given to the style.css file, and there is a basic console.log message inside my script.js file. Okay. So now let's start exploring about the JavaScript function definitions. Okay. So JavaScript function definitions. Okay, so basically we have so firstly to talk about the functions, we have, so JavaScript functions is essentially written by making use of the function keyword, and there are essentially like two types of function definitions. Okay, so the first one is called as the function declaration. Okay, and the second type is basically called as a function expression. Okay, that is, we'll look into both of this with the help of a better example. So the first one is function declaration. So function declaration is essentially the old way of writing the function. Okay, so let's say we want to calculate some value. So let's say we calculate a square of a number. So we're going to say function of square of x, and we're going to say console.log x star x. Okay, so essentially this is known as a function declaration. So basically by making use of the function keyword, we are initializing a function square over here, and we are providing a parameter x to this, and we are pretty much calculating x star x. Okay, so this is called as a function declaration. So if you just call the function over here and provide a parameter that is 5, so it should give us 5 into 5, that is 25, right? So let's save the file. Let's come back to our web page. Okay, yeah, so there we are getting 25 in the console. So that is known as a function declaration. Okay, so the next one is function expression. So whenever we equate a function to a particular kind of variable, then that is known as a function expression. Okay, so let's understand that with the help of an example. So we're going to say const result equals to, we are going to equate this function to a variable. Okay, so that's the function expression. So we're going to say function square. Let's write that correctly. So we're going to say function square. Again, we're going to take in some parameter. Okay, so pretty much we are going to say return x star x. Okay, so over here we are going to pretty much console.log the result value. Okay, so console.log of result, we're going to pass in a parameter of, let's say, 5 to this. Okay, so this is pretty much called as a function expression, right? So over here we're going to take 5 as a parameter, and then we're going to return 5 star 5, which is going to be 25. So let's pass in 7 just to differentiate the values. So it should get 49 in the console. Yeah, so there you go, we are getting 49 in the console. So this is basically called as a function expression. Okay, so that's the basic difference between the function expression and function declaration. Okay, so the next thing we'll be moving on to is basically the function hoisting process. Okay, so let's write that out correctly. So in the previous video we went and explored about something called as the variable hoisting. So hoisting is a process where, so before everything runs, so inside the script file, so the JavaScript engine moves all the types of variable declarations and the function declarations to the top of a code, and this process is exactly known as hoisting. Okay, so previously we went and explored about the variable hoisting. That is, we used to just console.log of any variable, let's say counter, and after we try to access the value, we used to initialize that value. Okay, so var counter equals to 1. Okay, so what this does is, so before JavaScript executes this code, okay, so JavaScript engine looks into this code as this. So it's going to say var counter. Okay, after that we're going to console.log, it's going to take into this line. Okay, so after this we are initializing our var counter equals to 1. Okay, so JavaScript engine looks into this particular code like this. Okay, so firstly we have var counter. So what happens is, inside the creation phase, it basically puts the value of undefined to all the variable declarations that is present. So that so for that reason, for this variable, we are going to give undefined at the initial stage. So when we console.log of and this particular counter, we are going to get undefined in the console. Okay, so let's save the file and let's check this out. Yeah, so there you go, we're getting undefined in the console. So that's the way basically the variable declarations work. I mean the variable hoisting works. So next we'll be looking into the function hoisting. Okay, so similarly we're going to firstly call the function. Okay, so we're going to say get name, and after we have called the function we're going to initialize the function. We're going to say function get name. Okay, or we're going to say get result. We're going to do some calculations here, get result. Okay, so change the function name over here. So we're going to say get result, and over here we are going to say const sum const a equals to 10 and const b equals to 20. We are going to say console.log of a plus b. Okay, so here inside the get result function we are basically calculating the sum. Okay, so what happens over here is on line number 23 we are just calling the function even before it is defined, right? So before executing this code, JavaScript engine moves the function declarations to the top of our code. So essentially this would be after this. Okay, so we should get the result of 30 inside the console. So let's save the file once, and yeah, so we're getting 30 in the console. So because of the process of function hoisting, we are able to execute this code. That is, even before we have defined the function get name get result, we can even call the function. That is, we are invoking it before even it is defined over here, right? So that's the way the function hoisting works inside of JavaScript. So next is assigning function values to a variables. Okay, so we're gonna say assigning function values to variables. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, we have already looked into this, so this is basically called as a function expression. Okay, so now we are going to let's say calculate sum of three numbers. Okay, a basic calculation. So what we're going to do is, over here we are going to pretty much say const sum of 3 equals to, we are going to take in a function, let's say function, and we're going to take in some 3 parameters over here, let's say a comma b comma c. Okay, so basically over here we're going to return a plus b plus c. So that's what we're going to do. So basically we are assigning a function to variable. Okay, so that's known as basically a function expression. We have already done this over here. So over here let's pretty much console.log this particular function. So we're going to say console.log. Firstly we're going to invoke it, that is sum of 3, like this, and to this we're going to pass in some values, that is a parameter. So since we have 3 parameters, we're going to provide 3 values. So it's going to be 10, 20 and then 30. Let's keep it like this. So essentially we should get 60 in the console because we're calculating the sum of all the 3 parameters that we are passing, right? So 30 plus 20 plus 10, it's going to be 60. Yeah, so there you go, we're getting 60 in the console. So that's the way this works. That is basically if we assign a function to a particular kind of variable, so we access it like this. So next is basically the arrow function that we have. Okay, so arrow function is essentially used to write a better code syntax, better and shorter code syntax. Okay, and it was introduced in the ES6 version basically. So the way we write that is, so let's say const sum equals to arrow function, and we're gonna say let's initialize some values over here. So const first equals to 50 and const second equals to 100. Okay, so over here inside this we're going to again calculate the first plus second value. Okay, so we're going to say console.log of sum, or instead of that we can just say console log over here, right? We're going to say console.log of first value plus the second value. So this is a very shorter way of writing the arrow function. So that's by making use of the arrow like this, and let us just call the sum method over here. Okay, so if you come out on the console, we can see 150 coming in the console. Okay, so that's the way we write arrow functions. So arrow functions are often used because of the shorter code syntax, and we can write the code in a correct way and in a easy method which is understandable to everyone, right? So that's it about the arrow function, and we have explored about the function definitions as well. So basically these two, function declarations and the function expressions. and even about the function hoisting process. Okay, so I think that's it about this video that is about the function definitions. So let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.